Sports Beat Radio, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Looks over the middle, second guesses, fires, throws. Does he make the catch in the end zone? Yes! Touchdown! Oladipo to win it.
Another one!
He got
Another one! Another one!
Huge hole! He's at the 30! He's gonna go! 10, 5, touchdown! Jonathan Taylor!
Galloway finds Rob Finney, who fires the three and
He hit it!
Now, from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios, here's your host, Jim Coyle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard. Thanks a lot for joining us here on this Thursday for latest edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Jim Coyle with you as always, and Dustin Schutte as well, joining me from outsider.com. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great this morning, Jim. How are you?
All right. Can't complain. Nobody wants to listen to it. Looking forward to another fun day. Plenty of stuff to talk about, as always. Find out, got to start picking some tailgate dishes. You got to start getting in some ideas for the Friday shows that are coming up. Boy, I got to stop by Bubba's 33 in Clarksville yesterday, and I'm just finished off a piece of breakfast pizza left over from there. Pizza, burgers, beer. Don't forget, they do them all incredibly well. Fresh, made daily. I know you want to talk about the birthday bourbon. We'll talk about that. The Angels are for sale. Angels in the outfield, baby. Little League World Series continues. Indiana basketball, their latest offer talks about that. Top 24. The 2024 top 25 point guard received an offer. Mr. Pate, he talked about that offer as well. Plenty of things going on as we head towards the weekend. We're getting closer and closer to CFB, baby. College football as week 0 starts this week, Saturday. Illinois, one of the teams that will be in action that will try to definitely catch that game. Is there anything else that you're trying to make sure you see
this weekend? Definitely Nebraska Northwestern because of the issue.
I want to see where Nebraska is, number one, and the coolness of where are they playing this game in Ireland?
Is it? I don't know. It's in Dublin. It's not SoFi Stadium.
See, why couldn't they? Damn, why could they not pick Indiana for this? I mean, I'm as Irish as they get. I've confirmed it with my that one of those DNA things. 75% Irish British. Which shocked me. Well, it's like 50% Irish basically is what it is. The other, that 25% British, I'm figuring out is coming from my mother's grandfather's or my mother's father's side. He was Welsh, I believe. So you throw a little of that in there, and then Irish. The other half is Coyle's pretty Irish, and then on my mom's side too, the other side there was German.
So that explains why you like to drink beer, right?
I guess I'm not a big beer drinker. Not a big beer drinker, and especially like when I play golf, it's odd. I just want
it. It depends to me on how I'm playing. Now, I'm not somebody who opens a can per hole or anything like that. But if I'm playing really well, I don't want anything to interfere with my round. But if it's not going well, I'm gonna have 2 or 3 and enjoy myself, because otherwise I'm just going to get mad and frustrated, and I just paid $60 to play a round of golf, and I would prefer to enjoy using my money that way. So
Jason on with us and reminding us that the Tour Championship starts today. Can Patrick Cantley repeat? Don't know. Who was it that dropped out?
Will Zalatoris.
Oh, yeah. He got hurt, right?
Yeah, he got hurt in the what was BMW Championships last week in the 3rd round.
What a shame.
I think he was 3 strokes off the lead, if I remember correctly.
What a shame. But had a great year. I mean, geez,
Yeah.
how many times did he finish runner-up? And didn't he finish runner-up in a major twice?
Twice. Yep. He finished in the 6th in the Masters, and then 2nd in the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship. And then he didn't play bad, but he finished top 30, I think, a little bit farther back in the Open Championship. So he had a good year, and he just won his first the FedEx St. Jude Championship. That was his first PGA Tour win. So great year, but it was sad to see it end the way it did, to go down like that.
Tim reminding us that the Colts have had their first major blow with their punter, Sanchez, out for the season already. He said they could use Pat McAfee. Yes, he's kind of he's one of those guys on the sideline that, even though he's a punter, it's like Matt McAfee.
Yeah.
It's not very often that a punter can have and affect a team outside of their position.
Right.
And he was one of those guys. Pat McAfee was one of those guys, but also was good at what he did. So there's that. Hey, don't forget, we're brought to you by our good friends from Andy Moore Honda, number 1 Honda dealer around here. And Go Team, all part of the WOW Club. Go Team, all under the Endeavor Hospitality. You or your kids are always on the go, and it's hard to find fresh, tasty food that is convenient to eat and on the fly. Go Team Bites were created for go-getters like you. Go Team Bites are full of fresh, healthy ingredients, and each recipe contains high-quality protein powder. There are multiple flavors to choose from, and they taste great. High-achieving people like you need a great-tasting source of energy to conquer the day, to grab and go. So grab Go Team Bites, all part of the WOW Club. Get and order those. Get them for the kids. You got kids that are active. These are great, especially for the athletes or whoever the active person in your life. But again, all under the WOW Club banner. Make sure you go to your Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Sign up. It's free. And they are a great, proud sponsor of Value Athletics. Most importantly, they're a sponsor of Indiana Sports Beat Radio. So please go sign up for the WOW Club. It costs you nothing, and it is a great deal, I'm telling you. You end up with great offers, and I'm still disappointed. I want more. I want like a weekly text or something or tweet. And I'm like, man, I want more offers. I'm just kidding. Jennifer says Go Team Bites are very good. She needs to get some the next time she is in. Well, you don't have to get them in Bloomington, sister. You can. We'll get where you can order those online as well.
Jennifer's about to set up a second residence in Bloomington, I'm pretty sure, as often as she travels there.
Well, if she could get a job for IU, I'm sure she would. Ryan asking if we saw a Facebook chat. Well, that's a pretty open question, number one. Number two, I don't go on Facebook. That's like going to Craigslist for, if you're looking at this.
What's crazy is, you can go.
That's like you're wanting to set up an unbelievably big time computer room, and your first stop is Craigslist for high important equipment. That's a great place for fans to go and to chat and all that. I don't go to Facebook. I mean, our stuff's posted there, but I rarely am I personally on Facebook. So no, Ryan, I did not. I don't know what you're talking about. So let us know what the subject matter is. But
I think what he's saying is, because if I look at the comments, all of them are YouTube comments except for him. I think he's wondering if we see other people in the Facebook chat. So my explanation would be, Ryan, watch us on YouTube and you'll see the chat.
Yeah, it's sometimes they do pop up, but most of the viewers, if they're viewing and not listening on radio, like on the Ref on 97.7, the Ref, always the right call. Most people are watching on YouTube. So if that's what you're referring to, yeah, sure, Ryan B. But Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. As always, appreciate everybody. Let's see, did I say it? Travis is on here as well. But what else? What else is happening?
So one of the things, while we were on this golf subject, just really quick, did you see the TGL thing that they are introducing with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy?
Just getting ready to say that. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy in business.
I don't think it's going to work. It does not look good to me. But, well, I mean, we'll see. Well, they've got to do something to try to appease golf fans and get it more attention than live.
TMRW. Tomorrow's, I guess that's Tomorrow Sports. TMRW Sports, a new company focused on building technology-focused ventures that feature progressive approaches to sports media and entertainment. A couple high-profile TV execs are also involved. The new venture will reportedly feature one-day events held in partnership with the PGA Tour, set to launch in 2024, a response to what LIV Golf offers. Perhaps just a thought. Instead of continuing to fight and divide, why don't they freaking find a way to coexist and both thrive? Because when you divide, you weaken.
Right. I don't know. To me, this idea, it's basically like a virtual driving range. This is what it looks like. I don't know. I didn't read the specifics, but it looks like a virtual driving range with an actual, 100-yard radius of a chipping and putting center with some bunkers and stuff. And then it's an indoor stadium. So people would pay money to watch Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, some of the game's top players, to drive into a virtual screen and then chip and putt. Look, the way that they've tried to do this in the past doesn't work. You try to do these things. I think golf's simply a sport that you either like it or you don't. They tried to do it with World Long Drive, where it was just guys hitting the ball 600 yards off a driving range. That didn't gain much popularity. They tried to do it with Top Golf, where you had teams or individuals who were, basically had incredible accuracy and were able to hit, rack up the points. They tried to televise that and get that popular. That didn't work. I just don't think there's a way I don't know that there's a way to do it with golf. Like the Ryder Cup is about as close as you can get to a team-like event and having a ton of people pay attention to it. I just don't think incorporating technology into golf is going to work the way they think. But I've been wrong before. It's just, to me, it's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, whatever. I don't know about it. We'll see. I just know the more you delineate, the more you start chopping. That's when things go to wherever. Major League Baseball sign stealing investigation found that former Astros GM Jeff Luhnow permanently deleted data from his phone before handing it over to investigators. That and more details were revealed in Evan Drelich's upcoming book about the saga, which I will forever look at. He's still with the Astros. Who's the guy that
Altuve?
Altuve. I will forever look at him as a cheater. I mean, I'll never forget the coming home and he's like, don't rip my shirt off. I got the microphone underneath it here.
Yep.
I will never forget that. And yet Pete Rose is banned forever because he bet on the Reds to win and then some other baseball, which I could not care less. I could not care less that he bet on other baseball games. No. Period. And I could not care less that he bet on the Reds to win.
It makes no sense
really
to me.
Now I understand you can't have betting by those people, and I get that. But it would have been different to me if he had done it, if he was betting on them all the time and betting on them to lose sometimes.
That's right.
If he was ever doing that, that would have just really said that would have just been it. Now, punishment, yes. I think he suffered long enough. How long has he been out of baseball?
Yeah, a long time. Over 30 years, isn't it? Or close to 30 years.
He'll go in one day, I think. I really do. I hope. but
I think
it won't be while he's alive.
That's what I was going to say. They're going to wait until he passes, I think, and then they'll induct him into the Hall of Fame. But this is the kind of stuff in sports that just aggravates me, because the punishments don't match the crimes. And if you want to keep Pete Rose out of it, why did you not rescind Houston's World Series championship? I mean, why were the punishments not more severe? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Gutless. Why Shoeless Joe Jackson, still banned from baseball, I believe. And because he hit 300 in the World Series, his stats in the World Series were spectacular. Mm-hmm. And yet he still was just swept up into that, what I call mob deal, where they just grabbed everybody. And he disputed that to his death, and his stats back it up. And baseball has shown they don't go back and fix things.
No,
which I hate that. But we got to take a break, it looks like. So we'll do that. Don't forget, brought to you by our great friends from the Wow Club. Make sure you go to your Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Sign up today. Start earning Wow rewards. Eat, drink, and earn. They are a proud sponsor of IU Athletics, with multiple places that you can visit or order online from. We'll talk about those. BB's Market. Start getting in your ideas for tailgate dishes. Something that's, and I'm not talking about I'm not talking about macaroni and cheese, and I'm not talking about brownies, unless they're extra ingredients. Hint, hint, joke. Nobody got that. Serious, like meat dishes or something like that. We're going to do something every Friday at BB's, and we want to have ideas. Now, JD over there, he's got all kinds of ideas, I'm sure. And don't say chili. I've got that covered.
Are we coming up with unique ideas, or
it does not have to be unique,
okay,
but it should be something. Oh, wow, that sounds awesome.
Okay.
I don't know. It's something you'd have to be able to make in kind of large portions,
right,
but not terribly. I mean, I'm not going nuts here.
Let's say a tailgate of assume you're doing a tailgate of what, 12 to 15 people, something like that?
15 to 20 max.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, that's why you like chili. Well, yeah, that's easy to feed people. You can feed multiple people. But I'm trying to wings. But that's so easy. I don't know. I don't know what else. I mean, what else is there? I mean, that's the thing. There are so many unique things out there that I'm like, hey,
that's what I'm saying. You got a cheeseburger, but you gotta put a spin on that cheeseburger. If
you got a cheese, ain't got no burger.
I
got a ham, ain't got no sandwich.
See the reference.
It's just a joke. Hey, we got to take a break. Like I said, don't forget to reach out. Go Teen. You were for those that are always on the go. The Go Teen Bites, excellent tasting and full of protein. Part of the Wow Club. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting... Did you get Caleb's stuff?
Yeah, he's going to try to come on at 9:30, but he's going to confirm with me in a few minutes, he said.
Well, it looked like I just sent it to myself, so...
No, you sent it to me. You're good.
Hey, John,
Yes,
the
sir.
producer. When do Kentucky and Louisville play football? Do they still play on the final week of the season?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it on a Saturday?
Yes.
Damn. Okay.
Is that the weekend you're coming up?
No, I'm coming up before then, I believe. But my brother and I are looking to potentially do some stuff for Thanksgiving, and we are probably going to hit an SEC game, and I was going to try to do a loop-de-loop. And if they played on Friday, because I think we're going to try to go to to Georgia Tech, Georgia, that last week of the season.
Don't forget, you got Louisville playing ACC.
Louisville.
Yeah, I mean, they may be playing somebody.
No, I know, but I was hoping it was going to be on a Friday and not a Saturday.
Whatever day the 20th is, the 26th, the Saturday. That's the day that. Okay, yeah, that's when Louisville and Kentucky play. I think they're playing in Lexington this year too.
Yep.
Lexington.
Dadgum. Oh well. Now that I got some Saturdays off, I'm going to try to, supposed to have some Saturdays off. I'm going to try to get to some games.
Me and my buddy were thinking about coming up to Indiana, Illinois next week because he's an Illinois fan.
Oh, do it.
But I'm not sure yet. Depends.
Colin from Gainesville.
I would love to.
Well, make sure you let me know.
No, trust me. I'll let you know if I'm going to be up there.
Well, I meant I'll try to get you a credential.
Ah.
Will you get my buddy credentialed?
No, I wouldn't be able to do that.
I was going to say that's the whole reason I'm going up there, if we do.
None of that action. Sorry.
Listen, I'll just take the credentials, snag some drinks, and leave.
Some drinks? Oh, you mean soft drinks?
Yeah. I feel like we've been in this break forever. We got 30 seconds. I'm assuming we don't have Matt Taylor unless he just hops in here late.
Yeah, we'll go with that we don't.
You can find complete coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and plenty more. Simply go to thehoosier.com and sign up. It's free. You can also find full episodes of Indiana Sports Beat Radio on the homepage or on the station every week, Monday through Friday. If we're not on a station where you live, we should be. Ask for Indiana Sports Beat Radio. This segment is brought to you by BB's Market in Bloomington. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back. It's Thursday, and it looks pretty spectacular out there, at least coming from this vantage point. Jim Coyle with you here on this Thursday. Indiana Sports Beat Radio, brought to you by our good friends from BB's Market. They're your local meat shop, steakhouse, and caterer, no matter where you live, with some of the absolute best and juiciest custom meats around. BB's Market also has the largest variety of in-house made products you'll find, along with in-house made deli dishes, salads, lunch meats, plenty of other things that are, it's pretty spectacular. And until you walk in there, you have no idea all the things that they have. It blows my mind. But those meats, baby, that meat area, whew, it's just, yeah, you just walk in there, you just start salivating. But visit bbsmarket.com for online ordering. We're going to start getting some packages together, like a Hoosier package. So, and on this tailgating thing, whatever we come up with, every Friday, whatever dish it is we create, whether it's my unbelievable chili or Jennifer's got some creek fries up here.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, the recipe will be put together for you, and you'll be able to purchase that exact thing and with all the recipes together, and just have that sent to you, and you have it ready for a tailgate and be ready to go. So that'd be kind of cool. And though we'll also start doing some drawings, start having some fun. Somebody's going to win some stuff from BB's, win hats and visors and et cetera, et cetera. We need to get some other merchandise going as well. So we'll see. Talking a little bit, Jason, talking a little bit golf. Says seems really strange not having guys like DJ or Koepka not playing the week of the final PGA Tour. Yeah. But is it real? I mean, that's, I get it, but I don't even think about it anymore.
I don't either. And I watch a lot of golf, but I think a lot of people probably don't care after the majors. That's my thought. I think a lot of people watch golf during the majors. There's not a lot going on.
If you're watching non-major golf, you're sitting at home every Sunday watching whatever's going to be on there. That's not
Right.
drawing you to sit home. So where a major, you're like, we're going, hey, the Masters is on. We got to catch that. Hey, the Open's on. Where you got to get turn out. What the Sony Open from Honolulu? No, that's not guiding as many people's Sundays. So I'm going to give Joseph a shout out. He's on his way driving to Michigan right now. He's got wish him good luck. He's got a phone interview for an hour, interviewing for an assistant coach's position with Coach Mike Davis at Detroit Mercy. I should have sent, you know what? I'm going to send Coach Mike Davis a text. So to say, hey, he's a good dude, but good luck with that. Tim says he makes now this I'm interested in, a buffalo chicken dip to die for. Okay. Well,
now you're speaking my language.
I'm into this because if it's a good enough chicken dip, there's a certain chicken dip I used to get that I would get specifically to have for breakfast that I would use in my scrambled eggs, and I haven't had for a long time, but yeah, so I'm interested in that. Yeah, that's something that I'd like to see. But what were you talking about?
Me?
Yes.
Buffalo chicken dip is that's something that's right up my alley. First of all, before that, I was talking about there are a few, just to elaborate on your point. There are a few golf tournaments I'll sit down and watch: the Arnold Palmer, the Players Championship, certain tournaments like that. But you're right. I mean, but for the most part, major championships, maybe the BMW. Those are the ones that are appointment television. The other ones, if I miss a round or I don't get the Sunday round, it's not a big deal.
Well, it's just like anything else. It's like college basketball. If Indiana is playing Bethune-Cookman,
right?
Not all Indiana fans are going to watch.
Right.
The hardcore ones are absolutely going to watch, probably, but not all of them. The outliers are definitely not. So then, outside of that, non-IU fans surely don't give a crap about that game. So it's, having a vested interest in stuff. But Indiana's going to have plenty of games that people are going to watch this year. That's for sure.
Yes. And that's always good on the schedule. I mean, that's always good to have those on the schedule too. That's what you want when you're playing at a place like Indiana. You want to be part of those big time games, big time matchups, and especially since they're playing one in Vegas, they're going to Kansas. It's going to be in some iconic venues. There's a lot. There's not going to be a lot of those what do you call them? Cupcake games. Not a lot of those on the schedule this year.
Indiana, and they weren't alone, but Indiana used to be, for a while, became Cupcake City, baby. To take the phrase from Dickie V, it was Cupcake City. They would have 10, 11 straight home games at the start of the season, and not one of them was against anybody that could beat the best high school team. No, I'm kidding, but it's those low 200 and 300 level teams that I get it. Coaches want that, but at a point I'm like, what are you really gaining here? They're not pushing you. You get more out of practice. Hell, your second unit is better than the guys you're playing. I understand how going through the motions can. You need to be pushed. Now, that's not the case for Indiana. Now they've got that mix.
Yeah.
Kansas, Were you kidding me? Or Arizona first, then Kansas, both back to back. Yeah, boom. Talk about the best in the Pac-12, the best in the Big 12. They're playing the best in the ACC, North Carolina. So they're going to play the best teams in all three of those major conferences, which those are the three best conferences outside of the Big Ten. So that is ratcheting it up. You had Xavier in there. They're one of the best teams in the Big East. So their out-of-conference schedule has just became as good as it gets. There's nothing more you could ask for. It would be nice to have the Kentucky game on there, but I'm getting to the point of screw him. Indiana doesn't need Kentucky. It's not, and if Kentucky fans think that, they're poorly. What the hell does Kentucky need Indiana or Indiana need Kentucky for? What do they need them for? Nothing. They don't need them for jack. TV still wants Indiana. Indiana's in a conference that makes much more money than Kentucky does. Indiana's in a conference that is much better basketball conference than Kentucky is. So they don't need, and Indiana is in the basketball state in the country. They don't need Kentucky. College basketball should have this game. Indiana and Kentucky fans should have this game.
Right.
That is what it is, in my humble.
No, I agree. I agree.
Opine.
No, I agree. I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's not going to be at the same level as taking away Kentucky, Louisville, or Duke, North Carolina, but it's in that category. And it's just, it's gone away. I mean, I guess what you could say is it's similar to when Notre Dame scrapped Michigan from the schedule. It's a game that it felt like should be played every single year. Both teams moved on. Now nobody thinks about it. I don't even think, I mean, we talk about it on this show because there's still a talking point, and Dick Vitale every year wants that game to be played. But it's not going to happen until John Calipari leaves. It's not going to happen in the regular season until he leaves. So I do think it'll get restarted at some point. It's just going to be after he leaves. After he leaves, I think it will get restarted.
I agree absolutely, wholeheartedly. Now, the only way it happens while he's there is an Indianapolis Louisville thing, which he is such a whiny ass crybaby about everything. What a whiny ass crybaby. Yeah. Now he's whining to his own school. He whines and that's what happens when you give those kind of people some power.
Do you know what
Mitch Barnhart, who I have respect for, UK's athletics director of athletics. I have respect for him. He seems like a good dude and has grown into that role. The one thing I wish he would just say, you know what? We're going to play Indiana. Period.
It would be nice. Yeah. It would be nice if he'd do that, but
now he's not going to do it to where it's a home and home with Calipari there. And I could see that, and I would be fine with that. But he needs to say, you are not bigger than this program.
Right.
You are not the program. This program was here way before you came, and it will be here way before you're gone. This series was here before you. It's a Indiana and Kentucky. What are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want to hear about North Carolina Duke. That's, that is a good series, of course. But this Indiana and Kentucky supersedes that. It has not been that way for a long time. I get that. Indiana has been down, but Indiana is the best state in the United States for basketball, period. I don't care what anybody has to say. That's not even an argument there. And Kentucky has had such a great run on the university side. Louisville has been
Indiana, Kentucky is bigger than Duke, North Carolina?
I think that when Indiana and Kentucky was Indiana, Kentucky, yes, absolutely. It was. Think of it. Think back what you had. You had Bob Knight. You had Rick Pitino or whomever over there. Hell, you can go back to Bob Knight and Joe Hall. But these Duke and North Carolina, they're more what I would call modern successful. Duke's first national championship came in 1978. So they were not. So they're more. Indiana and Kentucky have been doing this. Indiana won their first one in 1940. They've won them along the way. They've continued to do things. Kentucky the same way. Won their first one in the 50s and have both been a part of the fabric of college basketball ever since. The state of Indiana, period.
Indiana hasn't won in 30 plus years. So
I said here of late, when it's Indiana and Kentucky, it is bigger. It is not now. And if it just restarted, it wouldn't be.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Unless.
So you're saying, so on the same page, you're saying prime Indiana, Kentucky better than prime Duke, North Carolina.
Absolutely, in my opinion.
I probably don't have as much of a recollection of that. So I'll take your word for that. Presently Duke, North Carolina is the biggest. I don't disagree with what you're saying. You got to think about it.
Indiana was going to Final Fours in the 70s against UCLA, against Kentucky. They were going undefeated. They were doing all this, continued winning into the 80s, continued into the 90s. It's like I said, they won their first one in the 40s. So they're an institution in college basketball. They are a blue blood. Period. The last section of slice of life has not been great for them, up and down, but they were number one in 2013.
Right, they were.
So they've won 2 Big Ten titles, within the last decade. So it's not like they've fallen off.
They're not irrelevant. I just don't think that rivalry now, or in maybe even my lifetime, has been as big as Duke, North Carolina. But again, I
misspoke. They lost to Kentucky in 78. I'm sorry. They lost to Kentucky in 1978. Duke did. They didn't even win their first title until the 90s. Now, yes, did they go on this incredible freaking run?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. But then they became what I call a Nike team, and I'll leave it there. We've got to take a break. More Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming up to you. Brought to you by our good friends from Metalworks Brewing Company, all part of the Wild Club. Located just off the square in Bloomington near Cabello. It's locally owned and operated by Endeavor Hospitality. Launched from a previous staple in Bloomington, the former Function Brewing. Metalworks Brewing Company is the culmination of a passion for beer, food, and custom metal art. Check out their custom growlers. They're pretty cool. Metalworks Brewing Company has an updated menu, new brews, and will be offered in all Endeavor Hospitality restaurants. Come taste what Dr. Hops has brewing. Metalworks Brewing Company, bring your passion and your thirst. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Dustin, Schutte, and myself, Jim Coyle, right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
The sun is out.
Caleb is going to join us at 9:30.
Okay. So during that, when he's on, I'm going to step away because I've got to make a phone call.
Sounds good. Tim said, JTP, you make Indiana sound far away. What did I do that made it sound like it was that far away?
You said, I think he's referring to you saying we might be coming up for the Illinois-Indiana game. I didn't think it sounded like it was far away.
Well, no, but he said it's just across the Ohio River, though, is what he's saying. Like, I'm only 30 minutes from the river.
All right.
The river.
Let's see.
Jennifer says, I can't believe I used to swim in that river.
Are we? Long ago and far away.
I'd say one of the best things about Indiana that's not sports related, I'm getting today. Pizza King. After work.
Pizza King.
Pizza
Some
King.
of you all know as Arnie's.
No, it's well.
Is it not Arnie's?
Stop right now. This is going to be a. No, I'm saying stop conversation piece.
Okay, that's fine.
I can't wait.
We have discussed this before, but I also forgotten the difference.
Oh. Boy, my top's about to pop.
What happened? You have an opinion on this too?
Because of what you just said.
Okay, let's hold it. Hold it.
That's why I said I'm going to hold it.
I can't believe that this. All right.
One Honda certified pre-owned Accord, Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and Pilots. See dealer for financing deals. Andy Moore Honda, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. Get more to your door with AndyMooreHonda.com.
Come see us at the all-new Andy Moore Honda, now in Bloomington.
This segment is brought to you by Feast Market and Cellar. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio, coming to you here on this Thursday, brought to you by our good friends from Feast Market and Cellar, a part of the Wow Club, of course. Feast Market and Cellar, located next door to Southern Stone Restaurant on Patterson and Rogers, offering an extensive wine selection with a sommelier on staff as they take their pairing seriously to help you do the same. Feast also provides a mouth-watering and wide variety of cheeses, gourmet sandwiches, entrees, a coffee bar, bread, and pastries as well. Stop in and check it out. That's Zach Osterman's wife's favorite spot right there. And man, probably the best selection of wines around. If you're a wine connoisseur, I know that. What aren't you? You're just a Renaissance man, is Dustin Schutte pointing to himself.
Yeah.
The Renaissance man, because you're always talking about bourbon, and at the beginning you mentioned the birthday bourbon, which is put out by Old Forester. It's Old Forester's birthday bourbon. What edition is this now? What are they up to?
20. I believe it said 22nd edition. First of all, I didn't even know it was a thing.
I remember you used to be able to get this so easily. I remember the 13. I had 2 cases of it. I just went to a place down the street and said, "Oh yeah, all right. When it comes in, I'll take 2 cases." All right.
Of the birthday bourbon?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was in 2013. I wished I would have kept them all.
Yeah. You might be able to retire off that if you would have saved them.
But yeah, that's been going on for a minute. It's a once a year thing that they do.
Yep.
And people compare them from year to year. Oh, this one's good. This one's no, this one's the one you want. But the Old Forester, the first bourbon bottled, I believe.
I think you're in a glass bottle.
Well, how else could you bottle it?
They used to. I just read a book on this. It used to be in like.
They were not extruding plastic back then.
No, like a metal, like a little metal. I don't know what you'd call it, a cantina type thing.
Well, because now they would make they would use bladders and use those for like canteens, animal bladders that would fill up.
Yep.
I mean, that's.
I did not know that, actually, to be honest. So learned something new today. I've got to go back and read.
Think about it. Think about the bladder expanding.
Yep, it makes sense.
Yep. That's exactly it.
You know what popped into my head is like a whoopee cushion when you fill it with air and how it expands. Like that's what popped into my head when you talk about a bladder and filling it up, to drink out of. I don't know why, but that's just what popped in there.
All right, we've got to get back into what we were talking about during the break that apparently was a controversial statement that Pizza King and Arnie's are not the same thing, but close to the same thing.
Well, they're close to the same thing, and they're both thin crust pizzas. They're both cut in squares, and they look similar. The difference between Arnie's and Pizza King is the same as White Castle and Crystals.
I like that comparison.
It's the exact same. Crystals taste nothing like a White Castle. They look the same. They're little square, yada, yada. It's not the same. It doesn't taste the same.
Nope.
Pizza King does not taste. And I shouldn't be taken up for Arnie's because piss on them.
Because you're from the southern part where Pizza King is.
No, Arnie's is there's an Arnie's in New Albany. There's an Arnie's in Floyd's Knobs.
There's not an Arnie's in New Albany. Since when?
I know there's one in Floyd's Knobs.
Because there's a Pizza King in New Albany. Do they have Pizza King and Arnie's in New Albany?
Dustin, I'm sorry. I think I missed. Is there someone disagreeing with what I just said as stated fact?
Is there really one? I'm just surprised I haven't heard of it because I know there's the Pizza King in New Albany.
That's because you're always looking for the cheap version of stuff, apparently.
Well, so let me ask you, because didn't one company get birthed out of the other?
They may have copied.
Arnie's,
because I've looked into this before. I don't know any of this for a fact, but I remember hearing or reading once that there was one. I think Arnie's was first, and then there was an issue between two of the owners or something, and then one of them split off and made it a little different or something like that.
Let me tell you, when I was in high school, and I went to high school up in, I guess you'd call it North Central Indiana, Lewis Cass, and we would play teams like Rossville, and they had an Arnie's. And if it was a team trip, our team would stop there. That's how good Arnie's is. Every time we looked forward to those trips to Rossville or the Lafayette areas because that's where there's a Monticello. There's a ton of Arnie's. There's probably 4 or 5 within that area alone, and I mean, it's one of those things like, if you go up to, if you go down on vacation to Florida somewhere, oh, you got to try this place, you got to try that place. We would do that for our trips in golf, tennis, basketball, wrestling, whatever it was. We would always stop at Arnie's. That's how good. And we had Pizza Kings near us. It doesn't compare. Because I
obviously need to get to Arnie's because I've only had Pizza King.
Here's a big discrepancy too. I think Arnie's, the recipes are the exact same at every location. Pizza King, I know that's not the case.
And I think that's true too, because I've had multiple locations.
It's the same exact ingredients because they get it. They're served from the same. What do you call that when they have your own?
Like a warehouse?
It starts with a C. Commissary. They have their own commissary where the same. Everybody's getting the same sausage. Everybody's getting the same pepper. Everybody's getting the same whatever. But John, just to get you updated for this brand new Arnie's that just went into New Albany, it's been there for 50 years.
Come on.
I guess I just got it confused. So I originally thought that Pizza King and Arnie's was like a Hardee's Carl's Jr. situation. Like it was only in certain areas.
See, you're getting information off of Facebook.
It's definitely not off Facebook because I don't use Facebook in that manner. I'll look in. I'll do a deep dive into the history and see.
I'm just messing with you, but there's a lot of people that think that because of the similarities. There's no better analogy than Crystals and White Castle. And you have to know what both of those are. And if you have not been down south, you don't know what Crystals are.
But if you haven't been in certain areas, you may not know what White Castle are.
Right.
I've had 3
White
people
Castles.
put the address of the Arnie's in the comments since I said I didn't think it existed.
Dude, I could get there right now in my sleep. I could leave here and just bam. But
I need
don't
to do a
have go that far.
side-by-side taste test now that I know they're in the same town.
Yesterday, I was 30 feet from the Arnie's and Floyd's Knobs. The only reason I did not bring an Arnie's pizza home is because I had one from Bubba's.
Oh, there you go.
Or I would have gone down there and ordered. I was stopped by and saw the boys down at the Office Cigar Lounge there in Floyd's Knobs. Ran into old buddy Glenn Snow, one of my old athletic trainer. He was he was a 3-time high school trainer of the year. But he's heavily involved with Ball State. He knows Tim Garl from way back. I mean, he goes way back. He got some great stories, but yeah. Let's see.
I've got one last Pizza King comment that confirms what I was talking about earlier. I just got to confuse Arnie. It wasn't Arnie to something else. Let me read this to you. There are actually 2 Indiana Pizza King chains, both descended from a family-owned company. One, Pizza King, is based in Muncie. The other, parent company of the Southern Indiana Kings, is based in Lafayette. Local shops are independently owned, but share logos and branding and buy ingredients from Pizza King.
Huh.
I just thought it was Arnie's.
Arnie's is based in Lafayette.
See, there's too many similarities here. Very easy.
I think is the guy copied off of Arnie's, I bet.
He probably did.
Probably did. We saw a popular.
But it does not taste the same, I can tell you that.
No.
And Stromboli's, there was when I was growing up, there was a Pizza King by me before the Arnie's went into Floyd's Knobs. I lived in another town out in Georgetown. So, but Brian says you got to stop by Speakeasies in Orleans. Good wood-fired pizza. I was just through there last night. Hey, it's a small town, Orleans, and if there's good wood-fired pizza, that's a unique deal. Chris, of course, that's the right way to go.
So now I feel like I'm missing out because every single one of y'all are saying Arnie's is better.
Have you never had Arnie's?
No, and I claim Pizza King as my favorite pizza of all time, which makes me feel like I'm really missing out.
Of all time?
Please continue
to
shame
had
me.
Other pizza?
Are you saying Pizza King is bad?
Pete says that Pizza Kings have a lot more leeway to make different sandwiches, etc. I always heard sauce is a bit different. It just
and part of it might be nostalgia. I grew up obviously around one. So.
Yes, that does make a difference. I will speak to that because there are places that I'll go now as an adult and I'm like, it's not that good, but it still brings back fond memories. And I remember it as a kid being really good. So
yeah,
it tastes delicious.
When I was Mexican food did not used to be that prevalent.
Right.
There did not used to be Mexican restaurants everywhere. And I grew up in Southern Indiana and there was a specific chain. I'm not going to mention them because of what I'm going to say next, but we would all go there, especially Monday night football, eat chips and salsa, all that, and you thought it was okay. And because you're young and you're dumb and then you don't have a palate. And then all of a sudden now I'm like, you couldn't pay me to go back in there. And I've said that several times. Somebody said, we're going to go there. I'm like going, yeah, I'll pass. There is nothing in there that I want to consume into my body.
Is that chain still around?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is then. I had a guess, but I'll not say it.
Well, just think of old country song. The what was the Sons of the Pioneers? One of their most famous songs. Oh, the tumbling. Da, da, da. I didn't say that part, but
I think it's time to go to break on that note.
There you go. We got a break coming up, baby. Caleb Knost is going to join us. We're going to talk some IU basketball, what's going on out there, some 24 offers as the 24 class not quite coming together for Indiana. They're still involved with Arrington Page, but they offered another point guard. and we'll see how that works out. But Caleb Knost from the Hoosier.com joins us next here on Indiana Sports Beat, brought to you by our good friends from School Courier and the WOW Club. Make sure you go to your Apple App Store, Google Play Store, sign up for the WOW Club, start earning WOW rewards today. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Andy Moore Honda.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
Hello.
Caleb, how long until he says your last name correctly?
That's what I was just thinking, man.
What did I say? Knost again?
Yeah, and Page is not 24, he's 23. But that's all right.
What happened to Indiana landing all three of the guys? And what's funny is Maryland's landing two of the three now.
Oh, they got the other dude? They got
Jamie
Smith?
Kaiser.
Well, they already got Kaiser.
I think,
and then Deshaun Harris-Smith just committed yesterday.
We'll push this into the segment, but I think that's, leans heavy in their favor for Derek Queen, too, unfortunately.
Derek Queen to Maryland?
Yeah, he's from that area. He was playing Team Durant. I think he's played Team Durant before. I know that Team Thrill AAU he plays is out of Maryland, so he's from that area originally. Maryland's going to be a heavy factor in that one. But I'm with you on the Pizza King, John. I'm Team Pizza King.
Yes. We've got somebody on my side.
Like, my dad's from Marion, so we always spent summers in Marion. I had Pizza King there.
That's because you didn't have anything better. We'll have this.
I'm not debating that.
We've got to save it. We'll have this discussion on air. I hate wasting good discussions.
I told my wife, I was like, if we go back to Bloomington next time, we'll fly to Fort Wayne and drive through Marion so we can go to Pizza King.
There you go.
Never had it.
I haven't had it probably in about a year. I have it at least once a year if I can.
It always threw me off that it came in the bag. You had to carry it in like a.
I've never. That might just be your location that you're from.
Yeah, that's
I've
a
never
Marion
had that.
thing. But
they do that for the Stromboli. They do that for the Strombolis.
Yeah, they do it for the whole pizza in Marion. That's all I ever knew growing up was Pizza King for the most part, and then whatever we ate in Georgia.
In New Albany, they have a location with a train that delivers your soft drinks to you.
Really?
Let me see if I can find a picture.
Pizza King. Never mind. I forgot you were talking about Arnie's.
Oh, yeah, here, perfect picture. Here, I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Pizza King stuff.
This right here. It's on the edge of your table, and the little window opens up.
That seems like it could be disastrous.
It works fine. I'm pretty sure they still use it.
There's like 20 Arnie's locations. Hell, there's probably more Pizza Kings than that.
All right, here we go.
You need Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in you getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty at cheryl@indyhomepros.com or 317-298-0961. Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl@indyhomepros.com.
This segment is brought to you by Courtroom Sports Grill in Bedford. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back. Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming to you here on this Thursday, brought to you by our good friends Andy Moore Honda. Reach out to Andy Moore if you need that new vehicle. They have got great deals going all the time. 1.9% APR financing and great deals. Caleb Knost joining us from thehoosier.com. Also brought to you by our friends down at the Courtroom Sports Grill at Bedford. How's it going, brother?
It's going well. Just staying busy. Just, ready for football. We're not too far from basketball. Things about to pick up.
Yeah, it kind of needs to pick up for Indiana. the recruiting had been going, I'd say, well, for Indiana. Things looked good. They got a lot of visits in, and they looked to be in really, really good shape with Jamie Kaiser. But then when Maryland got that second visit, I said, I think Indiana's in good shape there as long as Maryland doesn't get another visit.
Right.
And as soon as they get that last visit, you're like, yeah, no, they're not going back a second time. And as soon as that happened, I knew that was over. Little surprising, they also ended up getting Sean Harris-Smith. So Maryland is coming out of kind of nowhere and putting together one hell of a class, because then they're not the only guys they've gotten, but Maryland's kind of wrecking Indiana's plans a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, it's like when Archie Miller first got to Indiana, he pulled, a top, 5 or 7 class nationally, and it was basically all Indiana kids. The DMV's not that different, right? Kevin Willard's a first-year coach at Maryland. He's had success at Seton Hall. He's a good coach. The DMV is, like I said, it's it's regional. All those kids that we're talking about were all from that area. It's not shocking that they chose Maryland. It did seem like Indiana was in really good shape, and Kenya Hunter having ties on the East Coast really seemed like it would put us in a good position. But, at the end of the day, Maryland was able to convince them to stay home. They already had another kid that plays Team Durant, Jonathan Lamoth, that's in that area, that was in their ears a lot recruiting for Maryland as well. So, yeah, they all decided to stay home. So now it's on to who's next.
Well, a little bit of pressure. I don't want to say pressure, but great recruiting class last year. There's pressure to follow that up. Now you've got Gabe Cupps and Ja'Kai Newton coming in, but they've got open scholarship spots, and it's, you start leaving scholarship spots blank. That gets me back into this Archie Miller thing. Well, he talks about banking scholarships, but he was banking them because he couldn't get anybody to take them, the people he wanted to take them. That's not the case here, but will they sign someone in this class for certain? I mean, they've got probably going to have two more spots to fill.
Yeah.
If Arrington Page doesn't come,
they're gonna get someone. I mean, it's a matter of who, right? I mean, Tom Crean filled spots with guys like Peter Jerkin, right? They're gonna get filled, but
that's how Indiana got in trouble, though, because he started giving away scholarships to people that should not have been given scholarships to Indiana.
Right. So if they don't get Arrington Page, they're going to the portal. I mean, there's nobody there. It's slim pickings for bigs in the class of 23 as it is. So it wouldn't shock me even if they get Arrington Page that they dip into the portal as well, because they're going to need some depth in the front court. Logan Duncombe and Malik Renew and Arrington Page probably isn't enough, to be honest. I mean, depending on how Renew progresses this season, and Duncombe, what he looks like at the end of the year, that might not be enough, even if they do get Arrington Page. So, they're probably going to have to go to the portal either way. I think they're done with 23 besides Arrington Page, aside from anybody they try to get out of the transfer portal.
So if we're thinking transfer portal, though, like I said, they're going to end up, will there not be, let's say Page comes to Indiana, will that not still leave 2 available spots?
I think that leaves 1. It kind of depends on who leaves. I think based on what
Xavier Johnson's gone, Trace is gone, Race is gone. Whom else?
Miller
Kopp's gone. So there's 4, and then someone potentially hitting a portal. But
sure. So we're looking at 2 spots still open. If Page comes, we'll have 1. Anybody else that leaves, we go beyond 1 open. So, I think they were really hoping to get a TJ Power kind of kid and an Arrington Page, have a 4-man class here. Just hasn't worked out that way. 2024 is looking like a much more national recruitment. They're heavy on McNeely, as we know he's coming in September. Asa Newell is a kid that they're really heavy after that's been on campus. They've offered a ton of 4- and 5-star talent in the class of 24, but it's just not a ton of not a ton of in-state talent, coming out of that class. Kanan Catchings, they're looking at a little bit, but I don't think he's gotten an offer yet. So, I think they're going to call it a wrap on the 23 before too long. They're going to be heavy for Page, see what they can piece together at the end of the season from the portal as well. Not to sound like it's a last resort. They're still in good shape. I mean, they're going to have 4 4-star players in the front court, but they, I think they're looking, their sights are set on 24 and even into the class of 25 now. I think you're going to see maybe for that North Carolina, maybe some football weekends, and for that big North Carolina matchup in November, whoever's on campus those times might be who they're really serious about at this time.
I did see a new offer. It goes out to a 2024 point guard, Pate.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably not as simple to pronounce that name as we're. I think Dink Pate might be. We may be oversimplifying it. I don't know. I don't know how to.
No, it is Dink Pate. I like it. Easy. I like Dink.
It too.
Dink's a great name.
I don't want to get it wrong.
I can hear Don Fisher right now. Jalen Jafino over to Dink Pate. For 3. It's good.
Yeah, he's
Dink Pate. Dink Pate. It's easy to say. Boom, 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 boom.
Rivals has got him number 21 in the country. I think we're a little late in the game. He's already got 20-something high major offers, but it's never too late for, if you can get him on campus, then it doesn't matter really how late you are, because that's a huge factor.
One thing that there seems to be somewhat of an appearance of Indiana, Coach Woodson has sometimes when they kind of get in, I don't want to say late, but like Xavier Booker. I guess you could say they got in, I don't want to say late, but they got in late. They didn't get in there as soon as Michigan State. Exactly. But they weren't here then, maybe part of that. But he ends up going number one. Rival says him number 1 in the country, heading to Michigan State. They also get Cohen Carr. Tom Izzo put together a class like that. So Maryland and we talk about Indiana. The fans are all hyped up about Indiana next year and being a favorite in the Big Ten along with Michigan and Illinois and who knows, Purdue. But look what Michigan State's putting together. Look what Maryland's putting together. There's the Big Ten. These teams are not sitting around with twiddling their thumbs. So yearly recruiting battles are just going to become, I think, even more important for Indiana. They've got to start winning bigger battles. Not that they haven't won some, but they still need to make that statement, I think. That statement recruit.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I think there's some important distinctions there too. Tom Izzo's a Hall of Famer, obviously established. Kevin Willard's also an established college coach. He's done really well at Seton Hall. These are guys that have coached in college. Mike Woodson's still, for all the good that he's done and all the good that he's yet to do, he's still not an established college coach. That plays a factor in kids' minds sometimes, So, I think Xavier Booker, that was just a victim of timing. Cohen Carr, it felt like Indiana let off the gas a little bit when he got hurt. And he's still just an interesting prospect anyways. Through the ceiling athletic, but he's still a little bit of a project on offense. So, once he got hurt, I think they backed off of him and didn't really jump back in. So, but yeah, these guys around the league are not wasting any time. They're building big time classes. They're protecting their home ground, so Indiana is maybe still a year or two away. If they can, in class of 25, if they can secure, Sicily and Harrelson, I think you're going to be looking at that kind of statement like you're talking about. You keep 2 big time kids at home. If they can keep a pipeline from Florida going with, a la IMG and Montverde, that'll keep putting them in good shape as well.
There's a great piece on thehoosier.com right now. Rob Cassidy, Rivals national basketball recruiting analyst, breaks down Indiana's recruiting, the expectations for this year, how Woodson is seen out in recruiting circles, how Indiana is seen out in the recruiting circles right now, because Indiana has gone from a low point to a, I don't want to call it a high point, but they are very dry. They're high. They're on high ground right now already in 2 short years, or just 1 short year really, under Mike Woodson. Just been here 1 season, but the turnaround has been obvious. The recruiting, they're still looking, but it's like the kids are still kicking the tires on Indiana a lot, it seems like.
Yeah, and to me, that's okay. I understand. I don't think it's a cause for panic for anybody. I understand people are going to be a little uneasy with how it's stalling out some right now. But I wouldn't be that concerned. Like I said, Mike Woodson has not really established himself yet. If they have a great season this year, if they have 10 blue chip kids on campus and they beat North Carolina at home by 10, 12 points or something, or even if it's a thriller, that goes a long way. It's still, you got to see. I think this season, is going to be, I think, how he develops players this offseason, so guys can tangibly see what he can do with a kid. How they perform on the court this season will directly impact, 2024 and 2025 recruiting. I think it just takes time. He, didn't inherit a bunch of misfits necessarily. He inherited some pretty talented kids, but, he's still got to build this program up. It's not overnight. It does sting when you have big time recruits that you think, are in hand, or you've got a really good shot with them and they go elsewhere. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind in recruiting. It's not the end all be all. So they still have a lot to prove. I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. They still have to go out on the court this year and perform and show these recruits, here's what we can turn you into. If Jordan Geronimo and Tamar Bates come out and they're, double-digit average scores and they're, killing people like we hope they will, he can show, here's what I can turn you into. Here's what it'll translate to on the court. Do you want to sign up for this? Right now, he can just say, look, I took a team that was struggling. They still had a lot of the same struggles last year. And that's a personnel issue, I think. But, once he shows like, hey, we overcame those struggles now. We're a top 20 program again. We can clearly turn out talent. I know what it takes to get to the NBA. That's a draw for kids to come. It's just almost there, but not quite. Everybody wants it to turn around overnight. And in some ways it kind of did. But, we lost at Northwestern this year. We got beat by 30 in the tournament in the first round by St. Mary's. And there's there's some factors there that are not so black and white, but that still happened. If you lose in Evanston and you get 30-pieced in the first round of the tournament, those are headlines that stick. So, you have to show and prove this year, and then that'll build some momentum going forward.
Who's killing Justin with my age difference? LOL. It's funny. Yeah, it does seem like I don't want to say Indiana's recruiting is stalled, because that's not. I don't think that's something that I would accurately say, but it has slowed down. And you hit something a minute ago that they haven't done yet. It's win. They haven't won anything. Yes, they had success last year compared to what they have been, but that is not success to what Indiana is known for. So kids are not looking for a team to win 2 games in the conference tournament and sneak into the NCAA tournament. So Indiana is still, if you're not a kid from Indiana, they're still seeing these last 20, 25 years, Indiana. Cicely, Harrelson, not worried about them. They know being here, they can see what's coming. They know all the other stuff, and that I think will be no problem. It's getting these other guys that are not from Indiana, that don't know it, because there's no history for them. The history is not good. Their Indiana history is not good to them, because they see the last 25 years. So they need to see that winning. This season's a very important season for Indiana in recruiting, because to me, this winning will then really open the floodgates for Mike Woodson and the Hoosiers.
Right. And like I said, I mean, in recruiting, it's a ahead and behind game. It's not winning and losing. Sometimes you're at the top, sometimes you're in the middle, hopefully never at the bottom. But it's perennial. It doesn't start and end. So I don't think stalling out is the right term either. Swung and missed on some kids. They're not going to stop. It's not stalling. It's just they're going to move on to the next one, right? And in this case, it's just the timing of it. I think that means they're probably moving on to kids in 2024.
And there's no reason. Jennifer says she's now feeling down about Ivy. There's no reason for that. You've got a team that is
You're first team All-American.
Yeah, so
Top point guard in the country, in my opinion. It's no reason to feel down about it. Rome wasn't built overnight.
And not only that, we're in the dawn of when, if anything can ever change overnight, that's now. That's
Absolutely.
now with the transfer portal, with the NIL, with this, that, and the other thing. Oh my God, dude, they could still land and pull somebody out of nowhere. There's plenty of people that are. I'm not concerned about Indiana's recruiting. I'm just noting that it has slowed, and they have to win first to get all these people.
Like you're saying, like right now is a crazy time. Think about how many kids are signed and how many coaches are about to be fired after this year. Tamar Bates, we only got him because Shaka Smart left Texas, and we got him in the 11th hour, and he was a blue chip recruit. That happens. That's a very realistic possibility.
And that doesn't happen if the coaching change doesn't happen in Texas.
Correct. But what happens with that next year? All right, so we'll see.
Yeah. What's up next for you, man? What are you following on the recruiting trail?
Well, like I said, sites have shifted to 2024. I'm starting to look ahead to 2025 even, because I think that's going to be a really crucial class for Indiana. 24, they're going to have to really try to fill out a roster. They've got a lot of talent they're after, but I'm really moving on to 25, looking into that. Looking to reach out on the football side to Dexter Williams soon and see about talking to him, because he's from the area I live in. I saw him play football and basketball in high school, and kind of see if I can chatter him about what's going on in that quarterback room a little bit. He's not going to give me a name, obviously, but just trying to see where things are headed in the future. That's all.
What, you got a guess there?
You talking to me?
Yeah. You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? It's the wrong tone.
I like Jack Tuttle. I appreciate and respect what he did for us and his fill-in roles, but it's got to be Bazelak. I mean, arm strength alone. You got to have somebody that can bomb at 40 or 50 yards.
Tuttle can throw the ball. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not saying that because I think Tuttle's the guy or that I think Tuttle should be. So I think Bazelak, because of mobility, because I've said many times, I think that this offense is going to have to be one that is a shotgun offense, a quick hit, boom, 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 try to keep the offense or defense on their heels, try to keep moving the ball around with a lot of short passes, short movement, moving the ball around, or some running plays. Obviously, you slip in, you try to go downfield. But I think that Connor Bazelak is definitely the more mobile of the two. And we keep forgetting about Dexter Williams because he's not been talked about, but he is a very, very, very good dual threat quarterback. And
phenomenal athlete.
I promise you, he's probably been pushing these guys, and it's, haven't heard anything about him. That's because Indiana would probably love that, I'm sure. That would be it would be a little shocker, but hey. But there's too much.
I'll say that.
And there's too much. I think there's too much experience in front of him right now.
Yeah.
But don't look too far into the future. But yeah, I've said Bazelak. I've not wavered, and I'm not going to now. He's
played a lot of meaningful football.
It's not quite a 50-50 shot, I guess, with the Dexter in there. It's kind of like it's kind of like playing roulette. It's not 50-50 red and black because you got the green on there, and trust me, that has beaten me. But it's about whatever the red black bet is on a roulette table. But I think it's a little heavier towards Bazelak myself personally as well.
I agree.
Well, brother, I cannot thank you enough. Look forward to doing it again. Anything going on this weekend that you're watching, looking at college basketball wise?
Not necessarily. Guys are getting ready to play school ball again, and so you might see some kids. Most of the kids that have moved around already. So
Ja'Kai Newton down there in Georgia as well. I'm sure you'll be following him as his deal gets cranked up, and there's some others that they're following as well.
Yeah, I'll be checking in with Ja'Kai and his coach in person a lot because it's not that far from me. And, if Arrington Page commits, that's not that far from me either at Wheeler. So I'll be keeping close tabs on them, trying to reach out and be in touch with them throughout the season, given that, everything stays the same with Newton and that Page commits.
Appreciate you, man. Can't thank you enough. We'll do it again soon. Caleb Knost joining us here from thehoosier.com, contributing there for IU basketball recruiting. Kevin agreed with you. Caleb is right. Yes, finally making the tournament is nice, but finishing ninth in the conference after previous low finishes is a horrible look. That's just, like I said, that's got to be taken care of with winning, and that starts this year. And then Ross says, watch McCauley take the first snap after all the secrecy. That would be pretty hilarious. We got to take a break. Brought to you by our good friends at Cabello Restaurant, located right on the square in Bloomington. Taste the Southern heritage of Southern Italy right here in Southern Indiana at Cabello on the square in Bloomington, part of the WOW Club and the WOW Network. Make sure you go to your Apple App Store or Google Play Store, sign up, start earning WOW rewards today. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting Bloomington, we didn't get to talk to about pizza.
That's all right. More pressing matters, right?
You can join the pizza conversation.
If you want to stay. I don't know if Chris is gonna show up because we're already 5 minutes past when he normally shows up, and I haven't heard from him. So.
All right. Well, then
if you want to stick around, Caleb, you don't have to, but you're welcome to if you want.
I'm a run. It's 10 a.m. I better get to work a little bit. But all right.
Appreciate you guys. See you soon, brother.
Welcome back, Senior Schutte.
Thank you.
Boy, your audio sounds so good now.
You say that, but I think he still needs a regular mic.
I do need a regular mic.
Well,
that part's true.
I don't know that. But you mean like a handheld mic?
Or something you could plop down in front of him. It doesn't have to be something he holds.
I think.
Well, the thing is, if you don't hold it, though, then you got to worry about being right at the mic, talking into it if it's not a headphone piece.
Right. I think it sounds better in here because it's not as echoey.
That's true.
My apartment is like we put carpet down, we've hung pictures. There's no way to get rid of the echo. Because the ceiling is so damn tall and there's no way to get up there. Like you don't have a ladder tall enough to put stuff up there. It's probably
is that the only place in your apartment where you could do it?
I mean,
go back to the
right
closet
now, yes.
What about? I don't
have enough room in my closet.
Yeah.
What about your bedroom? You don't have just a corner in the bedroom because you just put that stuff on the wall in the corner.
I don't. My bedroom is very small, unfortunately. Because I was thinking I could put a chair back there and then get like one of those TV tables because it doesn't have to be anything, but I can't even fit a chair in the corner.
I've got to where I'm going. I've got moving over the next week, and I was just over there. I was like, damn, this is echoey in here. But of course, there's not a lot in there. There's not a lot in there right now. There's nothing in the closet. They have wooden floors. I'm like, shit, I'm going to hang stuff on the walls.
In that cubby hole, I thought once I get some stuff hung up, once I put some carpet down, it'll be fine. Didn't change.
Here we go.
Honda, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. Get more to your door with AndyMooreHonda.com.
Come see us at the all-new Andy Moore Honda, now in Bloomington.
This segment is brought to you by Remax Advanced Realty, Indy Home Pros team by Cheryl Sizemore. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back. It is Thursday. This is Jim Coyle. You're listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, as you are each and every day, I hope, because we appreciate you immensely on this Thursday. Dustin Schutte from Outsider.com with me, as he has been always as well. Brought to you by our good friends from RE/MAX Realty. If you're in the market for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore and her 2 decades of experience. It could be the difference between you getting the home you want or not. Reach out to her at Cheryl@IndyHomePros.com. Dustin Schutte, we were talking about Pizza King earlier, but I don't know if anybody really cares about that now. There are 25 Pizza King locations, I noticed, versus about 20 Arnie's locations.
Wow. Okay.
And the bulk of that, of course, is in central Indiana. Lafayette gets a big dose of
both of those.
Now, of Arnie's, of course.
Oh,
but there is one. I remember leaving a Purdue game once, and I'm like, I'm getting an Arnie's pizza for the long ride home, because it's for one thing, it's easy to eat in the car.
And
that is an easy, and there's no way that pizza's not getting eaten when it gets in my car. There has never been a time I have never picked up an Arnie's pizza, and yes, they were always in the bag too. They used to be, John. I just remembered that. Yeah, but I hated that, because you had to roll the bag back again and get it closed, keep the heat in there, as opposed to the box. But then that one side of the box always kicks out, and you can't get it closed because you're driving. You got one hand on the wheel, and you're just trying to click the lid, but that one wing on the side of the box is kicked out. And you're like, damn it. So you lift it all the way up. You lift it all the way up to flip that wing in, and you lower it back down. Well, then the other wing's kicked out. And this goes on back and forth. And you're like, dang. But because there's just no way I cannot have one of those big old squares, man.
Well, that's the nice thing is you can on a normal pizza. I mean, you're going to get some flop, right? You can't, it's almost impossible to eat it in the car unless you're going to destroy your clothes and your mouth. With the Arnie's pizza, it's crisp. You don't have to worry about, you get the nice, I don't know, undercarriage of the pizza with that nice crispness. So there's no flop.
Not that we should be doing a commercial for Arnie's, because they won't put any here in this area, number one, and two, they're not a sponsor. So I do enjoy it, but that's enough about them. But they are my favorite versus the other, which is also not a sponsor. So no point in talking to them about them either. How about that? Patrick says best breadsticks, order with the phone from the table, early 90s, post baseball games, smokiest restaurant you'll find in the Midwest.
Yes.
Those were always fun. You go into those restaurants where the walls are yellow. I love it when you go in there and you can tell that they've moved a picture and it's like white behind where the picture was, and it's dingy yellow around where it was not.
I know. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where Patrick's talking about. If it's the one in Lafayette, the Pizza King, and the train brings you your drinks.
Oh, I know that. I know what I was going to say. All right, so I'm leaving the game up in Lafayette, and I'm like, I'm going to get an Arnie's. I went to this one location. Oh my God, you weren't getting in there. They had a to-go line, a pickup order.
Yep.
That was 20 deep. I'm like, I'm not ordering to go. I'm like, gee, my God. So I just looked, and they had 5 locations up there. So I found another location that was close, and I went to that. It was in a damn grocery store.
Yep. Yeah.
It was, but not only was it in a grocery store, it had one of those just little machines where they just kind of run it through the machine. I felt gypped. That's not an oven baked pizza, man.
No, it's not. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Having lived there for a couple of years, that it varies. I don't think it varies on quality, but that I know which one you're talking about, and that one is. I mean, that's if you're in a hurry. That's if there's an emergency and you got to get some food.
Well, yeah, because there was no waiting with obvious reason.
Yeah, that was quite the difference. Hey, what's happening in baseball? Where are we? We've got these races going on. I don't want to forget about
Braves.
that.
Braves only down a game and a half, baby, to the Mets.
Oh
They're
my
coming
God.
after Brockway's Mets.
Oh, if they overtake him, I'm going to have him on. That must be next year's. Boy, Justin Verlander didn't have a good run for the Astros. The Yankees, well, it's because the Mets are playing the Yankees right now. You got the Subway Series. Oh, and Aaron the Judge, he's nailed, 2 in the last couple of games? He's up to 48 homers.
Yep. The Yankees.
How big is he?
How big, as in like his physical stature?
Yes.
I don't know.
He looks like a big dude. He just looks like a large man. That's
a great question. I don't know. I don't watch enough Yankees baseball.
He's 6'7".
Is he really?
He's 6'7", 282 pounds.
I did not know that.
And all athletes.
Yeah.
I've never seen a 6'7" baseball player that wasn't Randy Johnson.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, he could play tight end.
Or that wasn't a pitcher. And doesn't he play outfield?
Yeah.
He should be at first base is where I'd put him. I mean, there's an article written, let's see, this is in 2017, just how giant is home run derby champion Aaron Judge. This is freaking 5 years ago. They were comparing him. All right. This is great. Comparing him to all these people. All right. Aaron Judge is 6'7", 282. Russell Wilson, 5'11", 215. Rob Gronkowski, 6'6", 265. Vince Wilfolk, 6'2", 325. Babe Ruth, 6'2", 215. Jose Altuve, 5'6", 164. Mookie Betts, 5'9", 180. Bryce Harper, 6'3", 216. Cody Bellinger, 6'4", 210. Giancarlo Stanton, 6'6", 249. Stephen Curry, 6'3", 190. LeBron James, 6'8", 250. Kristaps Porzingis, 6'7", 250. And that's the ones they compared him to.
Wow.
There was only one guy bigger than him in that entire run of athletes?
LeBron was the only guy taller, right?
Taller, but he wasn't.
I don't think anybody had him in weight.
Well, there was a lineman, but he is a big old gut. He has a good old gut on him. But he's a freak.
He is a freak. I mean, and these kind of guys, there's only one sport that I say this for. Because I think it's actually better for baseball when the Yankees are good. For whatever reason, I think there is more attention to the sport when the Yankees are good, I think.
Here you go. According to ESPN stats and information, this is in 2017, this was written. No position player, all-star or not, has ever been both taller and heavier than Aaron Judge.
Jeez.
Only 2 pitchers, John Roch at 6'11", 290, and Jeff Neiman, 6'9", 285, can claim that distinction. Not even Randy Johnson.
Well, yeah, because Randy Johnson was tall, but he was thin. Yeah,
thin. These boys must have been big old boys. Can you imagine a pitcher 6'9", 285 throwing at you?
No.
Or worse, 6'11", 290?
You ain't, you're not.
The ball's not coming out of his hand until it's like 4 feet in front of your face.
That's number one. And you're not charging the mound if he hits you either.
No, you're going to get a Nolan Ryan put in a headlock and bang, bang, bang.
Kyle Farnsworth too. Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
Have you seen pictures of Kyle Farnsworth recently?
Kevin says Frank Howard in the 60s and 70s was 6'7" with similar weight, but he's showing, hey, no, I mean, when are they? Don't know if you guys discussed this yet, but Chet Holmgren missing the entire season from a foot injury at a pro-am. I did not know that. Did not see that. Boy, that won't make people happy.
No.
Ziano's Supreme Pizza up in Fort Wayne is a favorite. We'll get back on the pizza thing, it looks like. Pete, 62 original Pizza Kings in 54 stores in Eastern Indiana territory. Damn. That must be all the combined stuff, man.
I would think so.
And then Patrick says he was talking about the east side of the state, Richmond, Muncie, Pizza King. There you go. So
Gotcha.
Lots of pizza talk today. Pizza. I had pizza for breakfast.
Breakfast pizza.
The only thing better, I didn't have time, is to put a fresh egg on there.
What all comes on that breakfast pizza?
With the same thing that goes on the dinner pizza: pepperoni, sausage, mushroom, onions, banana pepper.
That ain't breakfast pizza.
The hell it ain't. It just it just was.
It just was. You made it breakfast pizza.
Always. We got to take a break. I'm getting hungry. But if you're hungry for a home in the southern Indiana area down by Louisville, Floyd, Clark, Harrison counties, you need Barbara Pop Real Estate Services. They've been serving that area for 3 decades. Reach out to Matt Lincoln. Matt at barbarapop.com. It's that simple. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting...
Another flawless live read.
Boy, how about the segue?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I was going to say, I was a little proud of myself on that one. Every now and then, blind squirrel finds a nut.
He'll surprise you.
Hey, Dustin, I know you said Aaron Judge, but what were you exactly? Because I legit was tuning out. I saw something that Jeffrey the Greek had posted and couldn't stop laughing and wasn't paying attention.
We were talking about Aaron Judge and how massive of a human being he is. What's funny is usually I'm working during the late night baseball games, but my brother has the MLB TV. And so we'll flip it over to the Yankees, particularly these past couple of days when they've been playing the Mets because it's part of the race. And every time, it makes me laugh every time. It's the stupidest thing. But my brother, every time he comes up to the plate, he's like, all rise.
For our Lord and Savior, Aaron Judge.
All rise for Aaron Judge.
I think that's hilarious. As a matter of fact, I think that they should do that at Yankee Stadium. That should be his walk-up music.
They might. I don't know if they do or not, but I know my brother does it.
All rise.
Like
Aaron
I said,
the Judge.
Usually, if I'm watching,
Please
baseball,
rise for Judge Aaron.
The Judge. I don't know if it happens or not because usually, like I said, I'm working, so I usually have the games on mute. But he always says that, and it makes me laugh every time.
Well, I got to say, I kind of like that.
Oh, my goodness. People have been reaching out, wondering about my Twitter status, Twitter hiatus.
Yeah, that
I much enjoy
group chat. They were trying to advocate to bring another Purdue guy in, and I said Dustin's the only Purdue fan that I can tolerate.
They can bring in another guy. I don't care.
Who?
Who?
What are you talking about?
This chat that Greek set up.
Why am I not on that?
Because you're a quote unquote reporter. And I say quote, like you're like half reporter, half radio personality. That's why I say quote unquote.
So what is it?
It's like a fan thing.
Fan. Oh, all right. All right.
I much enjoy not.
I should be
on my.
I should be the moderator.
The moderator.
Ooh, Jim, the moderator.
Well, you got to have someone that's unaffiliated.
That's true. All right, here we go.
That has no.
You can also find full episodes of Indiana Sports Beat Radio on the homepage or on the station every week, Monday through Friday. If we're not on a station where you live, we should be. Ask for Indiana Sports Beat Radio. This segment is brought to you by Southern Stone Restaurant. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio, coming to you here on this beautiful Thursday. It's been an incredible month. Let's just be honest. You don't get months like this. August. Yeah. It's mind-boggling. I mentioned earlier, I ran into an old friend, teacher, or athletic trainer when I was in high school, Glenn Snow, yesterday, and I said, "Man, am I wrong, or was it not a lot hotter in August?" Because he was the athletic trainer when I was playing football. And another guy said, I go, "Yeah," I said, "We didn't get water unless the coaches were thirsty." I said,
Right.
"We ran until they got tired." I was like, and we had 2-a-days. We basically just didn't stop. You go and you get a little break, and then you got a whole nother complete practice each day for 2 weeks. And buddy, you come out of that, it's like boot camp. You better be ready before you get into it, because you can't prepare for it. Even all you can try to be is in shape, but you can't prepare for 2-a-days, because just putting that helmet on for the first 3 days, your neck hurts. You got to get used to the weight of that. And then you get the pads all on full go. And then now you start going, man. And it's every day, twice a day. They're not allowed to do that anymore. No, 2-a-days, not allowed. I'm like,
When I went to a football camp back before I made, when I was still playing football a long, long time ago, I think it would have been my freshman year in high school, because I think that was the last year I stopped playing. But we went to a camp and we had 3-a-days. We would wake up at like 6:30, 7.
That's dumb.
We would go at 8 o'clock in the morning and do a practice for 2 hours. Then you would you'd have lunch, go back, relax, and you'd have practice at about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Go and relax and rest, and then you'd go through walkthroughs for about an hour on the field. So it wasn't 3 straight practices. It was basically 2-a-days plus kind of a walkthrough. But you were still out there. You were still kind of going through the motions. There just wasn't any hitting. So yeah, I don't remember it being that hot. So I remember being fortunate in that regard. But it used to be brutal, man.
Darren asking if I'm going to have any chili with mushrooms at the game Friday. Well, if that is you just joining us, we're going to be doing a weekly tailgate food item to make for people that say, all right, this is what we're making today to show you. And you will put all at the end of the deal. Here's all the ingredients. And if you want to buy it, you can buy it one, boom, here it is. And they'll send it to you. But yes, hail yes, my chili is going to be up there. I'm going to wait till it gets a little cooler. Not that it matters for chili, but I'm going to go ahead and wait till it gets a little cooler. But hail yeah, my chili going to be up there, man. What you talking about? And with the mushrooms. And I will guarantee you, if you didn't know they were in there, you would not know it.
I need you to put on a toque, though. I need you to have a toque.
Take a toque. Why?
I need a chef's hat, a toque.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about something else.
I'm pretty sure that's what those are called. I've got an apron I can put on, show it off. I don't have a toque, though. Maybe I need
I don't need you showing off in an apron.
I could look like Chef Schutte.
Oh, there you go. Talking about 2-a-days, though, but also it's gone the opposite direction. Indiana is mimicking the NFL, their training models now. And those training models are more off. allowing the body to regenerate, allowing the body to heal.
I think that's smart.
This is an NFL model. And I think that may have come from, I don't know if it came from one of the coaches that came in. I believe it did. I believe it was actually with McCullough when he came from Kansas City. I believe that's when they adopted that style of the NFL model, and they're still with that to help regenerate the muscle that's broken down, because you're tearing muscle down. You're tearing it down. Well, and if you keep tearing it down and not letting it heal back, yeah. So a lot of science there.
And you have a lot more. I mean, there are more games now than there were before. You're playing at minimum 12, maybe 13. The season is longer, so you usually have at least one bye week. Sometimes you have 2 bye weeks, so that increases the amount of practice time. You have to be year round to be competitive. So I think it's smart. You don't want to you can't send out guys that are severely bruised, and even if they're not technically injured, you can't have guys that are so beat up that it's going to hurt your performance. So I think it's probably a smart move, considering the length of the season, considering it's never ending. You have 12 games. 9 of them are conference games now. So you're playing elite level talent basically on a weekly basis. You look at Indiana's schedule, and they have 9 conference games, and then they play a Cincinnati team that was in the college football playoff. So those are physical contests. So I think it's smart to adopt that. A lot of teams are going that direction, not hitting as much in practice. Yeah, you'd like to see them, considering how they struggled at times last year to bring guys to the ground. You'd like to see them practice tackling a little bit more, but it's all part of the new safety and health and safety protocols and all that stuff. So, I mean, I don't know that they're doing anything that other college teams aren't at least testing out.
Well, there's and I was looking up, trying to find some stuff about that, but one of the things that popped up, it says next big thing, sleep science is becoming the NFL's secret weapon.
I know Penn State's been doing that for at least a couple years. It measures your quality of sleep,
which is important. I'm one of those people who I get horrible sleep. I'm ADHD. It's broken up. It's usually not it's not long enough. It's just jacked. I need to start using I've got an app that I need to start using more, because it'll tell you, it records you, and but
there's a lot of good technology with that.
Right. And there's truth to it. There's just truth to it. And so
not only that,
it's something that we can all, that's one thing that we can all easily do that's healthy. Freaking sleep. I wish I could. Sleeping is not easy for me.
Not only do you measure the quality of sleep players are getting, you can tell who's been out until 2 a.m. I mean, those sleep studies aren't going to lie. So if you're active, if you're out doing something you shouldn't be doing, it's going to notify the coaches.
Oh
boy.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Darren, mushroom. Now he's with mushrooms and a toke. There you go. He's all in on that. And 5 Left says he's going to rock some mushrooms and chill. Don't worry, you'll get your chance, man. You stop by and hopefully if you all make it up, I'm going to have it.
Look at Tim giving away the farm here on his buffalo chicken dip. He just gives the recipe, just giving it away.
Chicken dip. It's not chili.
That's what did I say chili? I meant
no. You said chicken. No, you said chicken dip. I said it's chicken dip. It's not chili. Big difference.
It is.
My chili's special. But sleep. I mean, they're going to have science. These things are going to start measuring them, and this is data that teams will be looking at.
Yep.
And using. Let's see. They may be talking about Deshaun Watson, which is ironic. But anyway, it says the head coach explains his darling tactical shift at the This is probably a what if. Well, Deshaun's sleep hygiene has been terrible because of our travel. Our monitors recorded a 30% reduction in high order decision making because of poor sleep. Meanwhile, Ezekiel's sleep hygiene has been great, speeding his recovery from that high ankle sprain. So I think this is pretend quotes, but this is what they're looking at. I mean,
right. Well, like I said, I know there's probably other schools that have done it too, but I know Penn State was monitoring a couple of years ago, and that was an initiative because they wanted to see the relationship between how much quality sleep you got and your performance, primarily at practice. I think it was as it was used. So it's a new technology. A lot of people are using it. I think Jonathan Taylor with the Colts is using it. He's using some interesting technology to help prevent injuries. And that dude's been healthy since his time at Wisconsin. And considering how much he carried the football, it's kind of I don't want to jinx it, but it's been kind of impressive to see he's been able to stay on his feet and play in every game. But yeah, I mean, it's new technology. It's useful.
Well, here's Gary McCoy, a sports science consultant for many NFL teams over the last few years, watched a pair of receivers sweat their way through a training camp session back in 2015. One receiver was a celebrated veteran, the other a speedy young up-and-comer. Both wore these high-tech sensors that monitored their heart rates, body temperatures, and physical stress during the intense practice. The sensors confirmed that the stress data for each receiver was roughly equal. Practice was just as hard for both of them, but after practice, the veteran was ready for a full weight room session while the younger player was gassed. If there was no difference in practice difficulty, shouldn't it have been the other way around? McCoy realized that the sensors were missing an important aspect of athletic performance. They're measuring stress, but they weren't measuring the importance of stress response. There is still a lot of mystery surrounding sleep. Sleep science is a new science. Until a few years ago, there were only 2 ways to monitor sleep. But yeah, it's like if you're not dealing with stress well, if you're not sleeping well, the brain is half awake, half asleep. It's like leaving the TV on and like you're like a dream that's being manipulated by a show that happens to be on. Leaking into your subconscious or whatever. Yeah, I'm horrible about that. But
do you leave the TV on when you sleep?
Well, I use it to go to sleep. ADHD, man.
See, I put it on now. The great thing is now I have a Roku and you can get YouTube on there. So I put it on like those white noise settings.
Oh, I've seen that, and I'm going to start trying to use that. But
help me fall asleep, and then put the sleep timer on for about an hour and a half.
Damn.
So that way I get to sleep and good to go.
That dude had that earlier. Kevin mentioned Frank Howard. He's not like from the 1900s. He hit almost 400 home runs with the Dodgers, the Senators, the Rangers, and the Tigers, retiring in 74.
Wow.
Not that long ago. Tebow giving us the reminder, Kurt Busch he's going to miss the start of the playoffs. Wow. Kurt Busch. I knew he was going to miss the remainder of the regular season races, but wow.
Yeah.
Now here's what I don't get. So who's qualified for the playoffs, him or the car?
Well,
and if you don't start the playoffs, how the hell are you still in the damn playoffs?
But I don't know how that part works. But if you win a race, aren't you automatically in? I mean, unless there's more winners than there is spots.
Which that's not the issue of he's in the he's made the playoffs. He won a race and he's got to have enough points not get knocked out. That's not the issue, but the playoffs are starting. This is the last week of the regular season in Daytona. Then the playoffs start. He's going to miss that. Well, that's like saying, all right, the basketball tournament starts today. You forfeit. Right. You're not there. You freaking forfeit. Or you send in a replacement team. Okay. Well, I guess that's what the replacement drivers considered a replacement team. It's just odd how they can do that. But
yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it's going to work, but I mean, Ty Gibbs has done a pretty good job behind that cars.
Ty Gibbs is going to be. Ty Gibbs is freaking 18 years old and drives with the big boys. And big difference between him and Austin Dillon, who he drives me a little nuts. And now he's got that stupid ass show on USA with his redneck wife. Oh my God.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh my God. Austin Dillon's Life in the Fast Lane. You see the commercials all the time. It's not. But anyway, yeah, looking forward to it. Man, can't wait to come back tomorrow. Always a big day on Friday. The Greek should be with us. Mitchell with us. Friday afternoon, boy. Dustin will be with us. We'll be partying it up.
Friday morning parties, baby.
Well, Friday parties.
Break out the breakfast pizza.
No, you can party in the morning. We'll be doing the show as always. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Alec Lasley back with us. He was off last week. Get us up to date on IU basketball recruiting as well. And Zach Osman from the Indy Star tomorrow as well. I hope you go out and have yourselves a great day. I hope you had fun. Make sure you hit the like button. Please follow us on Twitter at Jim Coyle ISB, at Schutte Sports. We'd really appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who was on today. Thanks to John, the producer. Most importantly, thanks to you guys. Without you, we've got no reason to be here. And we appreciate you giving us that opportunity. Appreciate you all. And until tomorrow, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.